I'm from Flint. I was born there and raised. I had a great father. He was a good hustler. I had a mother, though, who was unlike all mothers. She was kind of like a monster. For some reason, she hated me and my brother. When I was 13, she got out of prison and introduced me to heroin. But I introduced her to rock, so I guess fair exchange, no robbery. But she introduced me to heroin so she could use me on the streets, work in the streets for her. I never wanted her to love me. I just wanted her to like me, to be nice to me, you know, because she was my mother. And I did it for a while, then my dad got out of prison and made me kick heroin, you know? He asked me to give him another chance to be my father. And I looked at him, I said, you're always gonna be my dad, you know? What, give you another chance, you're my dad. And after I said that, he made me kick. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I stayed clean for 3 years before I came out to Cali. And came out here for a little while. I relapsed.
Your mom was basically your pimp.
Yeah, oh yeah, she was my pimp. I lost my virginity to a slumlord for $500, and look what she did to me. This was my first date ever, lost my virginity. She got paid $500.
You were how old?
13. And when I came out from doing it with him, my mother was gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he got all nervous. He was like, oh, you gotta leave, because he was a sexual predator. He couldn't have children under 18 in his house without their parents. So he put me out in midwinter in the snow, talking about I had to take the bus home. And 2 days later, my mother comes home. Now I'm sick because I'm strung on heroin. She comes home with this guy who is like 400 pounds, covered in hair, disgusting. And she says, if you want to get well, you'll turn this date with this dude. And when he went to pay her, I was like, well, if you're going to pay her, then she can suck your dick, because I'm not, you know? I'm not going through that again and getting ripped off. So I kind of got hit real quick, you know? And so that's how I grew up with my mother.
Wow.
But I only went through it for like a couple years because my dad got out when I was 15 and made me kick heroin. I didn't want to, but he made me. But once I was clean, I was cool. And then I came out to Cali and relapsed and was in the streets again, doing my thing, working for escort services. I did a lot of shit out here. I made a lot of money. And I've been out here ever since.
You're now how old?
I'm 45.
No, but when you moved to California?
I was 17. It was like a month before my 18th birthday. And
You worked as an escort?
yeah, I worked escort services and made like mad money. And what was it? I used to get their calls, like I would get calls that were really good, and I would give them my number. You're not supposed to do that. So I made me a black book. So I didn't have, because the escort service charged you like 40% out of your money. So I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna give up 40%, it's almost half. So I started making me a black book and pulling their calls. So I had my own, like basically my own service going on. I did that for a while and came downtown. That's where it was like drug city back then. I mean, it was real cheap. Had fun down here, did a lot of shit. Hung out with the homies. And, okay, basically later on, my homeboy made me realize that I had a good knack for selling drugs. Now, see, I've been a hoe the whole time I was out here. In the streets, I've had a lot of bad experiences. I've had guns pulled on me. Got in the cars, the dude goes parks, and then another guy pops out off the back, you know, and then he takes his money back. I've had like a lot of bad experiences out here working the streets. But I mean, come on, it comes with the territory. And then when my homeboy introduced me and showed me that I was good at selling dope. I didn't, you know, because I did it all my life. I didn't know I was that good. I made mad money. Like major money. And when he introduced me to that, he took me off the streets. I haven't hoed since then. And won't, because I got too much hustle, too much game. He showed me that there was more to life than just hoeing, you know? So it's been like 5 years, I haven't turned a trick. I do all different kinds of hustling now, you know. Whatever I need to do, I'll do it. I won't go back to that, because I hated that anyways. It was easy money, but it made me feel like not human, basically. I hated it. And
Do you think all girls that work as prostitutes have that experience, whether they admit it or not?
some girls like it. Some girls actually like doing it, like really. There is nothing cool to me about it. I don't want to be with somebody that I don't like, that makes my skin crawl, you know? Even if it was for a lot of money. But I did it because of my addiction. But when my homie showed me that I had more hustle than just that, it was cool. He introduced me to a whole nother lifestyle. And I made a lot of money with him, and we kind of like fell out. I ended up pregnant. Oh, okay, let me tell you about my first son. I ended up pregnant at 34. I waited for my child for like 34 years. When I found out I was pregnant, I kicked everything cold turkey. Because I wanted to hold my baby more than I wanted to get high. It was my first child. I waited for a long time for him. I got clean, brought him home from the hospital, had him for a year, and I was selling dope back then. But my only mistake was I was on the run on parole. I never checked in. So I had a parole warrant. So when they finally caught up to me, he was like almost a year old. And it was very hard. Like, I got taken to jail, got 8 months flat for a violation. And he was like 11 months old. So when I got out, he was 2. And I didn't think he was gonna remember me, but he remembered me. You know, he was so happy to see me. And then the visit ended. It was really hard because he threw a fit. He kept saying, "Mom, I'm sorry, me be good, me be good." Like, he thought he had done something wrong. And I didn't know how to explain to a 2-year-old that it's not his fault, that, you know, I'll see you next week, everything's gonna be okay. They don't understand. They think they did something wrong. So, it was like the little boy that I waited all that time for. I had to let go, or I had to put him through this shit like once a week. Children's services don't even realize how bad children are affected by their, what do they call it, reunification thing? How do you explain to a 2-year-old that, you know, he hasn't done nothing wrong, it's just he has to go back to these people he don't know, and Mommy, you see him next week. He don't understand that. He thinks he did something wrong. So, he lives in Diamond Bar. He has a good mother. So I gave up my custody of him instead of putting him through that once a week and making him think he did something wrong. I mean, I wanted him back for me, but I would be being selfish to him by putting him through all that shit. Because I know how it is when you think that it's your fault. So, I let my son go. That's been 11 years ago. Anyways, back to Ford. Anyways, I was with my homie, we kind of fell out. I found out I was pregnant, didn't know it. I was 7 months pregnant, didn't know it, didn't show. I found out I was pregnant when my daughter kicked. And a week later, I went to premature labor. I was like 7 months a week pregnant. And we both almost died because I'm Rh negative. And my blood combats her like she's an infection and tries to get rid of her. I had to have a shot to carry her full term. She was born, but she was fully developed. Thank God. She was in the neonatal intensive care unit for like 2 months. It was horrible. And that's how I fucked up my homie. Every work that I got from him, I'd sit outside the hospital and just smoke it all up, you know? I wasn't even trying to serve, sell, hustle, nothing. because I was fucked up in my head. It's like, how could I be pregnant all this time and not know it? And anyways, I went to court with her, and come to find out that she ends up in the same foster home my son got adopted in. And there's a note with the caseworker saying that the foster mother wants to adopt Sky so she can keep Jaylon and Sky together since they're blood. So then I realized, I kind of thought about it. I realized she was never meant for me. She was meant for Jaylon, you know, to keep brother and sister together. So I went ahead and signed the papers and let her be with her brother. But at least now I know, because I always thought, like, I wonder if he knows he's adopted, you know? Does he know that he's a mother out here? But now I know he does, because he knows that that foster baby is his real sister. So he's got to know he's adopted. So I let her have them. I signed custody over, because I was in no position to take her or try to raise her. And Jaylon deserves some kind of blood in his life. You know, so she wanted to keep them together, so I went ahead and signed my custody off. I've done a lot of shit out here. I've seen a lot of shit, seen murders, all different kinds of shit. Shit people don't even want to talk about, you know? But I won't talk about. I've seen a lot of shit. Done a lot of shit.
You've been down here how many years?
Over 20 years. Like almost 30 years. I came out here when I was 17. Yeah, because I got a fucked up family. I mean, my mother, the only good person in my whole family was my father. He's a good man.
Tell me about your dad.
He was a junkie and a hustler. You know, he hustled hard, but he loved his family. He loved his kids, he loved his family. And he took care of us the best he could. And even when we got older, he still took care of us. Like, that's what he's in jail now for, over his family. He's doing life in Mexico because he got kicked out of the United States, because I guess he's been to prison so many times. And he's got life. I haven't seen him in like 20 years. Yeah, I miss my dad. And that's why I do this, because it numbs me. It does, it keeps me numb. A lot of things in life don't make me cry, but my children make me cry. Hopefully I see them one day again. On a good note, you know? I don't want to interrupt their lives or put them off track. I just want what's best for them, as any mother would. That's why I can't understand how my mother was like she was. She had to really hate us to do what she did.
Well, she was an addict as well, though.
Yeah, but so am I. I wouldn't sell my child. I wouldn't even get high with my child. So I don't understand. She got murdered in 2012, which wasn't surprising. And when I was told by my ex, he said, your mom got murdered, she's dead. And I looked at him, I was just like, I felt relieved. And I felt like I was a bad person because I didn't feel sad, or I didn't feel sad. I just felt relieved, like I could breathe. You know, like the monster is gone. And then I was like, damn, am I fucked up for feeling like that? You know, what kind of child feels like that about their own mother? But she was never a mother to me. So it is what it is. She was real scandalous, dude. She did some scandalous shit to me all my life. But it finally caught up to her. And you know what's crazy is because I didn't even realize this. Even when I found out she was murdered, when she came out here for a visit and she was smoking, her tweak was she thought she was going to be murdered. Like, she would slide off the couch, she'd take a hit, slide off the couch, get all paranoid, tell us all to get down, that somebody's going to shoot the windows. And I'd be so embarrassed. I'd be like, get off the floor, bitch, you're embarrassing me, get up. Or she'll go in the hallway in between the walls and like crouch down. I'm like, what is this bitch? She had to do some grimy, slimy shit for her tweak to be thinking that she's going to get murdered, right? Now, 10 years later, she gets murdered. And I didn't even trip on it till it was me and my ex sitting there, and I was like, we were talking about her, and I was talking about, am I a bad person, about feeling like the way I felt? He was like, nah. And then we said something about her tweak. I said, do you realize what her tweak was? That she was gonna be murdered. Ain't that something? Like, is it a coincidence or what, you know? Like, she knew she had some shit coming because all the shit she did all her life. I guess grimy people know.
What's your drug today?
Huh?
What do you smoke? Crack, of course.
I smoke crack, but my first drug of choice is heroin. She introduced me to the love of my life. Yes, she did. Yeah, heroin.
Does heroin still work for you? Or are you just making yourself well?
A lot of times, majority of the time, I just get well. I don't get high. It's hard for me to get high. It's like I use so much, and then I don't have no veins. There's nowhere to shoot. So most of the time, I'm just getting well. I don't even get high no more.
Where do you stay now?
In the streets. I'm still homeless. Yeah, in the streets. I've been with my dude for like 5 years now. We've been going through some tough shit lately. Because I feel like he cheats on me. But maybe that's because, I don't know. But I really feel like that. Like, because he shows signs of shit, you know. You know your dude's behavior. When something's off, you know it. You know when he does something a certain way. You know what time it is. You're not stupid, you know?
Women can sense that.
Yeah, like totally. And he thinks I'm an idiot, dude. And I'm like, you're gonna end up fucking off a good thing, because I think I'm a good woman. I'm like, and if they're worth it, fuck it. Yeah, we've been going through some hard times lately. But I'm getting tired.
You think you'll ever get clean?
Me? I want to. Yeah, I want to, but right now, at this point, no. Until I deal with my, what they call it, shit.
Yeah, that's really the core of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, until I deal with my emotions, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna get high because I'm gonna try to stay numb. Nobody wants to think about shit or deal with it, so I run from my past. And until I can learn to deal with it, I'll be running. I'll be high, be smoking, be hustling, I guess. Until something better comes along. And I don't know what that is.
Did you have dreams when you were a young girl of doing something with your life?
You know, I wanted to be an art dealer and live in New York because I like art. I like beautiful things. Yeah. But that went out the door when I realized my parents got high. Me and my brother used to peek through the registers and watch them get high, you know? Kids are really smart. They're really nosy, you know? Parents don't even know that their kids know exactly what's going on, you know? When they do some dirty shit or got some deals, the kids know everything.
And they don't do what the parents say, they do what the parents do.
Yeah, that's crazy. Kids are very smart, so when I'm around kids, I'm like, go play, go outside. I don't even want them in the house, because I know how I was when I was a kid. I knew my mother and my dad kept their needles in the towels. I knew when their friends came over and went in the bedroom, I said, watch, they're gonna come boil water because they're gonna fix. I was like 8 years old, who does that? 8-year-old know what time it is. I'm like, they're about to get high, watch, dad's gonna come out loaded. And they do, it's like, kids are really smart, dude. And I know that because I was a kid, and I knew what time it was. Yeah. Parents think they're hiding shit from their kids, but they're really not. And kids are like sponges. They soak up everything and want to do what their parents do. Yeah, sure do. So.
What are you afraid of now?
What am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? Never seeing my kids. Besides that, nothing. I don't fear death. Everybody, we live to die. Everybody dies at one point. I've OD'd so many times, it's like, I'm just thankful I able to wake up, And it's not really because of me, it's because of the person I'm with, affecting them, how scared they are, their look when I come to. I don't know, I don't fear a lot of things in life. Like,
What about fentanyl?
Fentanyl?
If you're playing around with heroin, fentanyl's.
I'm cautious, I know better. I know I got test strips, I know how to test it. I only deal with certain people. I don't just put anything in my arm, I don't just shoot anything. Now I have ran into some fentanyl, and that's how I ended up ODing a couple times. But by the grace of God, I'm still here. It didn't really scare me, it shocked me, and it showed me that I was being sloppy with how I was doing my drugs, I wasn't doing it like I should have been. Like testing the dope, especially if it's dope I'd never done before, I should have tested it. And it's always good to do less than too much. I'd rather do a little bit and be able to do more than do too much and not be able to come back. And a lot of people don't understand that. They're greedy and they want to do a big shot. No, dude, if you've never done that before, do a little bit. It's cool, you always can do more. It's not like there's not tomorrow, But if you do too much, it's a wrap. You can't do less, can't take it back, and you're gone, so.
What do you think the core is of self-destructive behavior? I mean, like the story you told earlier about your 2-year-old son thinking he did something wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of shows a lot of what the thinking is among many humans, right?
Yeah, they think it's self.
Yeah, we hate ourselves and we need to be
Yeah, because
treated accordingly.
Yeah, it blew me away when he was like, please, I'm sorry, I'll be good. Like, don't make me go. I just stood there, I was like blown away. I didn't know what to say. What do you say to a 2-year-old?
But your behavior, do you think maybe the way your mom treated you, the way your childhood was, kind of set you on this path?
I'm a survivor from her. Definitely set me on this path.
But you've been doing it so long, maybe you can't even see outside
the box.
Outside the box, yeah.
Yeah, but I know I'm a junkie because of her. And that's my first love. My first hate, my first love.
But as an outsider listening to your story, if you grew up in a family maybe like mine or a more,
I'd be more aware of it.
Yeah, it's not likely that you have taken this path.
Yeah. I know I wouldn't have.
And it's like no. It's tragic because you didn't have any choice in the matter.
No, I didn't. When
you can't pick your parents.
No. And some parents aren't any good, rotten to the core. Some people shouldn't even have kids. Like, she should have never had kids. I don't know what her trip was, dude. She wasn't a nice person. She was always about herself,
If you could have changed one part of your
I would have changed my mother.
Change your mother. That's what I was going to say.
I would have asked for a new mother.
That might have changed a lot for you.
I probably wouldn't be here.
You'd be in New York.
Yeah, I'd be in New York.
An art gallery.
Or designing some kind of building. Yeah, I'd have been an architect.
It undermines a childhood like that undermines your ability to just sink your teeth and feet into something and make something happen for yourself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Because that was a dream.
And then drugs become part of the issue, and then it all
drugs
unravels.
Become the only issue.
But I don't see drugs as the problem. I see mental health as the problem.
Yeah, growing up, dealing with.
Yeah, having a childhood like that makes you want to use the drug, and then the drug becomes an addiction, and then you're out of control. But the problem is not the drug. The problem is the mindset that you had from having a mom that pimped you out.
And trying to numb and not think about the shit you're doing because you're a mother. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. We just use drugs to numb our feelings and
Yeah. It's all about mental.
bury our emotions. Yeah.
It's all mental health, I think.
Yep.
What's your biggest regret in your life?
My biggest regret, indulging with my mother.
Mm. But you were young.
Yeah, I know, but still, I knew enough. Women kids are not stupid.
Yeah.
I knew enough, but it was because I never wanted her to love me. I just wanted her to be nice. I shouldn't have cared about that because I would have never got high with her. And she was nice to me when we were getting high, and I was making money. So.
What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Most important thing, family. I do realize that living life is all surrounded around family. Like I look at these families who, like the aunts and uncles, they get together, they go to their nephew's graduation. It's all about family, you know? You're helping your family, either your nephew to get a job, send him to college. It's centered around family. That's what life's about. That's what makes it happy, dude. I mean, yeah, our career, our job, but who's the support in the background? It's family, you know, your sister, your brother, your dad, your mother, your aunt, whoever. It's all centered around family. Being family oriented, you know? Having your own family. That's what I realized life is about.
Yeah, it seems like it's the underlying stabilizing force in everyone's life.
Of life, yeah.
If you didn't have it, you'll fall into all the
without that
traps.
foundation, how can you build? You know, that's your foundation. Yeah, but that's what I realized. I was standing watching the little girl take pictures of her parents. And then there was like the aunt and the uncle in the background, like just proud watching her. And I'm like, that's what happiness is surrounded by. It's family, you know? That's what we live life for. Yeah. I guess they were on vacation or something. They were taking pictures of everything. But it's family. I don't know how to explain it, but I know that's the foundation of life. And that's what you build on. So you have your own one day, you know? You got your parents, your brothers, your sisters, and then one day you have your own family, you know, your own kids. And then your sisters and brothers become the aunts and uncles that you used to have, you know? So, maybe. Yeah, but until then, I'm gonna stay high.
All right, Whisper. Thank you so much for coming in again.
Yes, thank you.